Okay, to observe this linguistic miracle of the Qur'an, I'm going to be comparing two verses that are exactly the same, that discuss the same situation of divorce. And now look at notice that this is about the rulings in the Qur'an. And yet in the rulings, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is using perfect, high quality language, subhanallah. Even though He's giving instructions what to do, what to not to do, and what not to do, yet He's leaving His signs even within those verses where He's giving rulings. So both these verses, one from Surah Al-Baqarah, which is chapter number 2, and the other from Surah Talaq, which is way towards the end of the Quran. Surah Baqarah is in the starting of the Quran, Surah Talaq is towards the end of the Quran, which is chapter 65. Both of them talk about divorce, and when the man divorces the woman and she reaches the ending period, or there's a waiting period, and she reaches the end towards the end of it. Now he has two options. The man can either take her back or let her go. Right? Let the divorce completely happen or take her back. So subhanallah, now notice both of them talk about the same situation. However, Surah Baqarah gives a lighter version of letting the woman go. What does it say? Surah Baqarah chapter number 2 verse 231 says, فَأَمْسِكُوهُنَّ بِمَعْرُوفٍ أَوْ سَرِّحُوهُنَّ بِمَعْرُوفٍ. When you divorce women and they have almost reached the end of the waiting period, either retain them honorably or let them go honorably. Let them go. سَرِّحُوهُنَّ. Arabic says سَرِّحُوهُنَّ. However, Surah Talaq chapter 65, when it talks about the same situation, it says, then when they have almost reached the end of their waiting period, either retain them or honorably, same thing. أَمْسِكُهُنَّ بِمَعْرُوفٍ. But when it says let them go, it says فَارِقُهُنَّ بِمَعْرُوفٍ, or separate from them honorably. Surah Baqarah said let them go honorably. Surah Talaq says separate from them. Although it's the same thing. One is letting her go is separating from her. But why does Allah use the lighter version in Surah Al-Baqarah, saying sarrihuhunna, let her go? In Surah Talaq it's like separate. It's more harsher, but both of them have the meaning of separation. Why? Because you see in Surah Baqarah, if you see the context of what's going on in the verses, the context is on the lighter note for the women. It's about protecting the rights of the women in Surah Baqarah during divorce. If you see the verse before, two verses before it, what does it say? It says, divorce may be retracted twice, etc., etc. It is not lawful for the husband to take anything of the dowry given to the wives unless the couple fears not being able to keep within the limits of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. These are the limits of Allah, so do not transgress them. And Surah chapter verse 230 says, so if the husband divorces the wife, it is not lawful for him to remarry her until she is married another man. The next verse, look at the way it protects the wives, the rights of the women. It says, when you divorce women and they reach the end of the waiting period, retain them honorably or let them go honorably, but do not retain them only to harm them or to take advantage of them. Whoever does this surely wrongs his own soul. Even the next verse protects the rights of the woman. When you divorce women and they have reached the end of the waiting period, do not let the guardians prevent them from remarrying their ex-husbands if they come to an honorable agreement. Protecting the rights of the woman. So it uses the lighter word, which is let go, not the harsh. However, Surah Talaq is a more it's not more about protecting the rights of the woman. It's more about enforcing the divorce itself and the rulings of the divorce. And what is divorce? Divorce is actually separation, and thus it says separate from them. If you see the previous verse, how does it start? Instruct the believers. It's about divorce, about the separation. When you intend to divorce women, divorce them with concern for the waiting period and count it accurately. It's about the ruling of divorce, which is actually separation. And fear Allah. Do not force them out of their houses. Nor should they leave unless they commit a blatant misconduct. These are the limits set by Allah. And then when it comes to this verse, it also says, call two of your reliable men to witness either way and let the witnesses to bear. So it's about divorce, which is separation. So it says separate from them. Subhanallah. With the tone was about protecting the woman's right, it says let them go. When it's about separation, divorce itself, it says separate. Subhanallah. Perfect choice of words, even though the situation is the same. Subhanallah. Giving rulings while leaving a sign, God leaving a sign in the book. Second thing is, look, I'm not. This is all only from linguistic point of view. I'm not giving rulings here, but just to brush up, it seems from the language as well. Surah Baqarah, where it says let them go, it's more about the woman also wanting to go, so you let her go. Because if you see the previous verse or the verse before it, it says So if you fear they will not be able to keep within the limits of Allah, there is no blame if the wife compensates the husband to obtain divorce. It's as though the wife wants to go herself, and even talks about the wife marrying another man. If the husband divorced the wife, and it is not lawful for him to remarry her until she has married another man. So it seems to be the context is the woman wants to even go herself. There is so it's more appropriate to say here, let them go, as if they want to go. Allahu Alam, I'm talking about a language point of view, the way the words are used. I'm not giving a ruling here, right? And Surah Talaq, it's more like the man wants to let go of the wife, because it says unless they commit a blatant misconduct, right? It says as though the man wants to get rid of the wife. But anyways, the point remains that Surah Baqarah is on the lighter note, protecting the rights of the woman, giving the woman, telling the society or the man to protect the rights of the woman. So it uses the lighter word for letting the woman go, saying let her go. Sarrihuhun. The Arabic says sarrihuhun. In Surah Talaq, there's more of a commanding tone, giving the instructions to give a divorce, and thus it uses the word separate from them. Fariqun. Subhanallah. Even giving instructions while keeping the context in keeping the words in the right context. Subhanallah, how perfect and how divine this book is. Subhanallah, it doesn't even go away from its divine nature, even while giving instructions of what to do and what to do. Subhanallah, even divine rulings. So subhanallah, may God give us complete conviction in the Qur'an as the word of God. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik.